Most people think world leaders become influential because they speak well. Wrong. Speaking is the final layer. Power starts much deeper than words. Real leaders affect the emotional atmosphere of a room before they even talk. People feel certainty around them. That's what separates leaders from average men. Most humans are psychologically unstable under pressure. Their emotions constantly change based on circumstances. A leader's mind operates differently. While everybody else panics, they stay composed long enough to make decisions. That alone creates attraction. Human beings naturally gravitate toward people who remain calm during chaos, because calmness under pressure signals survival value subconsciously. That's why weak leaders never last long. The world becomes brutal the higher you climb. Criticism increases, pressure increases, isolation increases, and most people mentally collapse once they realize leadership means carrying responsibility while receiving constant judgment. That's why real leadership is rare. Most people want authority. Very few can psychologically survive accountability. Another thing people misunderstand: great leaders are rarely the most emotional people in the room. They cannot afford to be. A leader controlled by emotions becomes dangerous to his own people. That's why emotional control creates trust, not fake positivity, not fake kindness, control. History repeatedly shows the same pattern. The leaders who become unforgettable usually possess extreme internal certainty, not certainty that they'll always win, certainty in their ability to continue despite resistance. People are drawn toward conviction, especially during uncertain times, because confused people search for direction instinctively, and direction itself becomes attractive. That's why powerful leaders often become larger than life psychologically. People project strength onto them, hope onto them, fear onto them, meaning onto them. Leadership is partly strategy and partly emotional influence. The best leaders understand human psychology deeply. They understand fear motivates people more consistently than inspiration. They understand confidence is contagious. They understand uncertainty weakens groups. That's why decisive people naturally dominate hesitant environments. Indecision kills authority fast. Another brutal truth: real leaders are usually lonelier than people realize, because leadership separates you emotionally from most people around you. The higher your position becomes, the less honest feedback you receive. People start filtering themselves around power. That isolation changes leaders psychologically over time. Some become wiser, others become paranoid. Power amplifies personality. It does not fix weakness. That's why insecure leaders become controlling. Narcissistic leaders become destructive. Disciplined leaders become legendary. Power exposes character brutally. And despite what people say publicly, humans are deeply attracted to competence at scale. A person capable of influencing nations, economies, armies, or movements triggers fascination automatically, because enormous capability feels almost superhuman to ordinary minds. That's why world leaders become symbolic figures instead of normal people. They stop representing themselves individually. They begin representing ideas: strength, order, fear, change, stability, ambition. And once someone psychologically represents something larger than themselves, people stop viewing them normally. That's when influence becomes magnetic, not because leaders are perfect, because human beings are naturally drawn toward people who appear capable of carrying the weight that crushes everyone else.